on, fellas, and welcome back to the Content Creators as Wonderkid experiment. Catchy name, I know, thank you. I thought of it myself. We're back now. It is the year 2025. Our 6 Wonderkids are now 21. Yeah, 21. So we're going to see where everyone is currently and how they're getting on. Has there been any big money transfers? Is anyone playing for one of the big clubs in the world? Are some of the players still at the same clubs they started at? We're going to go in order of how they appear on Seymour Clavage's list, I suppose. This is going to just be looking at them at the age of 21, so we're not going to be kind of doing multiple years of it, because the last year was 2021, so we have jumped ahead 4 years now. So the first player we're going to look at is yours truly, currently on loan at Portsmouth. I actually have spreadsheets so I can see how far players have progressed in their careers. So for myself, my Flair is still 16, I think. Let's see if I can find Flair on this. No, my Flair's actually gone up to 16, which is fantastic. The other one that's jumped a lot is Agility. It's gone from 13 to 18, which is fantastic. Look at me getting better at playing football. Other than that, there's not been a huge jump in any of my attributes. Let's see, is there anything that's jumping out at me to make me go, wow, I can't believe I jumped that much. Off the ball's gone from 4 to 9. Yeah, off the ball's gone from 4 to 9, which is, to be fair, it's a good jump. Vision has gone from 8 to 12, which is fantastic. Again, agility is probably the biggest jump that we have. But other than that, I have grown ever so slightly. I've grown an inch, but I've also put on 15 kg. So, I got fat. When we were here last, my contract was £120 per week, and it was supposed to run until 2022. We now have a contract that runs until 2027 with Brentford. We signed that in 2024. We do have a minimum fee release clause of 48 million. Nobody is paying that. I can guarantee that right now. Nobody's paying that. As you can see, whoever's deciding what positions I play in, or whatever positions I'm training for, they don't really know what to do with me. The fact that they're playing me as I've played as a striker or been trained as a striker is interesting, because I have 5 finishing, but I've also played pretty much everywhere. I'm confused by this, by how it's been set up. We have been on loan at Wimbledon for, I hope that's not a full season. Played 21, scored 3 in the league. To be fair, 7.03, not terrible. Just under a 7 overall for all cups. At Rochdale, played 41, scored once. Played 46 total. And Portsmouth, did we just join Portsmouth? I'm guessing we just joined Portsmouth. I'm hoping we just joined Portsmouth. Injury-wise, we've picked up a lot of injuries. Nice. Any majors? We've had a sports hernia, a dislocated shoulder. It's happened. In real life, it's happened. Pulled wrist ligaments, versus Oxford. Of course. We have a lot of tight calves. We got a tight calf against Austria under 21s. So we've played 15 under 21 games and scored a goal. I'm that good. I do things. Is there any way to... Oh, we can. Let's see how many times. Alright, bruised shins, not bad. Yeah, tight calf seems to be the thing that we suffer a lot with. And twisted ankles as well is another thing. We seem to enjoy picking up twisted ankles. Fantastic. Back that way. Milestones. We've been at Portsmouth a full year and not played. we went on trial with Burnley. That would have been... Yeah, that was the day after we recorded the last episode. So we went on loan to, or on trial to Burnley. But nothing happened, nothing came of it. At Wimbledon, we were named Team of the Week twice, scored a first senior goal, named as Ireland's under-19s vice-captain. And we got into the seasonal best 11. Haha. Named in Rochdale's seasonal best 11 and got relegated. Fantastic. And we won the under-23 cup with Portsmouth. So we actually, 17 appearances, 3 goals. But we didn't make a single league appearance. That's depressing. I was hoping that I'd be even somewhat... I was hoping I'd do something in my career, but at the age of 21, doesn't look like I've done an awful lot. And again, suffering a tight calf today. We don't have any interest in us at the moment, but we do. Active relegation release clause, 28 million. Were Brentford relegated? They were. Okay, so bottom of the Premier League, and now I can go for 28 million. Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough. Am I... Damn it. Nobody cares about me. Alright, we are going to jump into... I'm going to stop. I'm going to jump to, I think it's IntoRowZ now, so we will be back in just a second for that. Just have to make sure. I don't want to spoil anything by having everyone come up on the list so you can see who's after joining what club or who's still at the same club they were previously. So yeah, it was IntoRowZ that is next. So we're going to bring up his attributes here. And as you can see, his first touch, positioning and acceleration are all at 16 and 17 vision. So IntoRowZ he's made some jumps. This man is doing well for himself currently. As you can see, defensive midfielder, central midfielder, and he's accomplished as an attacking midfielder. So he's, been trained properly. He's currently playing for Brighton in the Premier League, which, well done, my friend. Played 8 times for Ireland, has 8 under 21 caps and 1 goal. So that's pretty tasty for him. Any major jumps? Again, I'll have a quick look and see. There's nothing. His composure's gone from 6 to 13, which is a nice jump for any attribute, really. His determination's gone from 9 to 12, so he's getting more determined as time progresses. Yeah, vision's gone from 13 to 17. Strength has gone up as well. Steady progress. Started out with a 6, then went to a 9, and now up to a 12. So, again, another player who's put on a bit of weight. Went from 87 to 98. So, he originally was on a £30 a week contract, now getting paid 5k. And is currently wanted by Swansea, Portland, and Vancouver. Interesting. Club have an optional 1-year extension. Doesn't have to worry about that just yet. He does have another 3 years on his contract. But 5k, that's pretty tasty. Swansea have major interest in him. So he could be going to Wales. Or if Portland or Vancouver decide to come in for him, he could be going to the MLS. Which, would it be a good thing at the current moment? I don't think so. Going to be honest, I don't think it'd be a great idea. But then again, I'm not IntoRowZ. I don't know what he wants. Injury-wise, a lot less than what I had. He has had a tight thigh. That's difficult to say. He has had a good few times. Just twisted knee, bruised knee. Yeah, there's no major a lower back stress fracture. Yeah, that's gonna hurt, I would imagine. Career stats, as you can see, spent quite some time at Cork City before moving to Brighton. He's played 2 seasons in the Premier League now, so, and a 275k transfer for him. Did have 2 regular seasons at Cork City, so 27 games, 3 goals, then 34 and 2, and since then he's played not a whole lot, but this season he spent an awful lot playing non-competitive games, so plenty of friendlies. Has not had a season average above 6.71. I suppose he's still playing, which is the main thing. Milestone wise, it's a lot. Right, so we got to 2021 last time. He finished runner up in the Munster Senior Cup again. This poor man is cursed. Can never win the Munster Senior Cup. Named in the Irish Team of the Week. First under 21 cap against Italy's under 21s, age 19. Again, runner up in the Munster Senior Cup and the FAI Cup. Inducted into Cork City's overall best 11 and the seasonal best 11, and then was bought by Brighton. And since then, relegated from the under 23s League Division 2, no, under 23 Premier League 2 Division 1 with Brighton's under 23s. Made his international debut for Ireland against Austria and named in Ireland's seasonal best 11. So that's pretty nice, IntoRowZ. Let me know, which would you prefer, Swansea, Portland or Vancouver, because you are available for loan. You don't have a preference at the minute by the looks of it. Touch behind Swansea, Portland. Yeah, you're not sitting looking at one club and going, I want that one. But interesting. So, IntoRowZ, comment down below. Swansea, Portland or Vancouver? Which would you prefer? We'll find out in the next episode, which will be next Thursday. So, right, we're on to Clayts now, and I think this is the biggest surprise. Clayts is still with Fulham. Am I the only one that didn't expect him to be at Fulham? Because it was Wolves and Huddersfield were interested in him last time, and he's stuck around at Fulham. So maybe he rejected the offers, because it did say he was holding out for Arsenal. So there is a chance that he turned around and said, no, you're grand, thanks, I'll stay with Fulham. I don't know why though, because he's not getting first team football. Just interesting. He doesn't have any green attributes, so he's got nothing above 15 currently. I don't think, again, I'm not sure. We're eventually going to start seeing people slowing down on the attribute progress. Yeah, he's not had any major jumps from what I can see. He's had plenty of things that have moved up by like 1 or 2. The only thing I can see off just at a glance, pace and acceleration have both gone up by 3. So pace was 11, it's now 14. Acceleration was 12, is now 15. So he's overall not a... He's a good player, but I think spending this length of time at Fulham might not have been the best decision for him. Still plays as a striker, also can play at right back, but hasn't been played out of position, which is interesting. Has an active relegation release clause, 21.5 million. So I'm guessing Fulham got relegated. I'm going to assume Fulham got relegated. Yeah, they finished 19th in the Premier League. So unfortunately for IntoRowZ, actually, we didn't even look at that. Brighton finished 7th. So I think they're going to miss out in Europe. Guessing somebody in... Yeah, because Burnley won the cup. So that's unfortunate for our boy. Transfer-wise, nobody is interested in him currently. Still only valued at 37,500. I think Fulham would probably be annoyed that he rejected the advances of Wolves and Huddersfield. Way less injuries than everyone else. He's had a cold a couple of times. Other than that, it's not really anything reoccurring. Twisted ankle, bruised ankle, but they're 6 years apart. So Clayts is staying relatively injury free, which is definitely good. Has not played a competitive league game for anyone yet. He has played 2 cup games last season and scored once, and this year played 2 cup games again and didn't score at all. Clates, you'd want to get out. He only scored 3 goals the season before. You'd want to get out of Fulham fairly rapido, I would imagine, if you want your career to progress. Has had time on trial with Leeds. Spent almost a month with Leeds, but didn't leave. And not done a whole lot with Fulham. Won the Professional Development League Under 18 and runner-up in the FA Youths Challenge Cup. Mr. Clates, I hate to say it, but I feel like you're the one who's going to struggle. I'm sorry to say it. I think you're trapped in Fulham by the looks of it. If you can get out of Fulham, you should be fine. Because of your attributes, he's a good all-round striker. But that's sad. I was hoping that everyone, this so far, not going the way I was expecting it to. Right. So now we are back with our Canadian friend scootR, who has made his international debut for Canada. He's played 7 times for the first team and 3 times for the under-20s. So that is well done, my friend. You've made 7 appearances for Canada land, and now you're playing for Bristol City. That's good progress. Again, same as Clates, no green attributes, which is above 15 for me. To be fair, decent all-round player. Definitely a playmaker with those attributes. I'd have him playing as a playmaker all day long. Can play DM. Somewhat plays attacking midfield, but more a central midfielder who's going to spray balls at players and let everyone else figure out what they're going to do with it. He's just the man who controls the passing but doesn't worry about doing an awful lot else by the looks of it. Like, fantastic first touch, great passing, great vision. Has a great jumping reach actually, but has a 50 pence head, so his heading's a bit wayward. His concentration actually has gone from 5 to 13. So that's a huge jump. And other than that, like I said, pretty much everyone else, not a huge difference in any of the attributes. Contract wise, he did go from £5 a week with Weymouth to 2.9k per week at Bristol City. So that's a nice pay increase for our friend scootR. Plenty of people were saying that they expected him, hoped that he'd be the one that would be the dark horse to be the best player. I think progressively he has, or progression wise, he's not doing too bad. Up at Bristol City, does he have, no, he doesn't have any release clauses. How did Bristol City get on in? Okay, they got relegated in the Premier League. So pretty much every one of our players has, and he's their hot prospect. Ooh, scootR. Look at you. Available for loan. Hasn't got any interest in him currently. We'll have a quick look at his injuries. Bruised head. Bruised ribs. Yes, a lot of bruises, but no really bad injuries. Had hip injury 3 years ago. So other than that, it's not really been that bad. Twisted ankle and an abdominal strain. To be fair, scootR hasn't had that many injuries either. So that's good for him. He did play a lot of games for Weymouth. But for a 7.25k transfer to Bristol City, that's a nice bit of a jump. You know, you go from Vanarama South to the Premier League in one foul swoop. Did have a fantastic season actually, his last season with Weymouth. 42 appearances, 13 assists. Like I said, scootR is a playmaker. scootR plays football for a living. You did make one competitive appearance this season in the Cup for Bristol City. Played a 6.1. Season before, didn't play a single game. Interesting. As you can see, last season with Weymouth was fantastic. 47 appearances, 2 goals, 14 assists, 1 player of the match on a 6.93 average. scootR, you're doing bits. Milestone wise, at Weymouth, you go to 2021. Named in Weymouth's seasonal best 11, first ever senior goal. Named in Team of the Week twice in 2023. Inducted into Weymouth's overall best 11 and the seasonal best 11. Then made your under 21 international debut, the word I was looking for, against Argentina's under 22s, aged 19. And then, as we know, joined Bristol City from Weymouth for 7.25k. And since then, made your full debut against Antigua and Barbuda. And then named in the seasonal best 11. So Mr. Scooterman, doing good stuff. It's 3 of our players have now been relegated to the championship. Maybe being relegated to the championship is a good thing for these players, because it means that, say, like Clayts, scootR, possibly myself, if I can manage to break into the Brentford team, we could all actually get game time in the championship with these relegated Premier League teams. Okay, so Phil FM is the most interesting one, I think. Phil FM is an absolute monster on this save. He has 28 international caps and 13 goals for Northern Ireland, 8 under 21s, 8 under 21 caps, 5 goals at the tender age of 21. Currently valued at 32.5 million, on loan from Tottenham at Real Sociedad, getting paid £29,500 a week. When I saw this, I was so confused. How did this happen? His finishing is still 12, which I find interesting. His first touch is 16. Guessing it used to be 13. I have it down as 46 here. I don't think that's what it was. But he has everything. Has gone so far up. Like, first touch, heading. Actually, they're the only two that are 16. Off the ball is 17. His acceleration, agility, and pace, all 18. This man's an absolute weapon of a striker. Like, explosive striker. Is there any other attributes that have made massive increases? His determination dropped from 15 to 13, which is interesting. I think this proves that going to a top club early makes a huge difference, because he went from £20 a week at Linfield to 29.5k at Tottenham. Like, that's a bit of an increase. And he's getting game time with Sociedad this year. Transfer-wise, nobody obviously wants him at the minute because he is on loan at Real Sociedad until the end of the month. His time at Linfield was productive. Played 20 and scored 8, 23 and 10 in overall. Then played 54 games and scored 12. Played on the continent. He played Champions League or Europa League or Conference League thing, whatever it's called. So he's played an awful lot of football in a fairly short period of time. Then went on to play 21 and scored 4 before Tottenham signed him and played him in the Premier League. Did only make 9 substitute appearances, but none that he played twice in, I'm guessing, the Champions League with Spurs. So it was with Spurs he actually, my God. Phil, you absolute monster. Then went on loan to Nimes in France. Played 38 games, scored 6 goals, 4 assists, 2 player of the matches. I'm surprised that I'm not saying I'm surprised that it's Phil that's made it as the best player of the six so far. But it's interesting because everyone was given the same attribute, well, same current ability, and then it was just -10 potential. But it's just interesting the gulf between some of the players. Like the fact that everyone who was in England doesn't seem to be doing as well as Phil, who was in Northern Ireland. You don't normally see people leave Northern Ireland and do amazing. But, went off to Sociedad this year, 37 appearances, 13 goals, 1 assist. So he's a bit of a glory hog. On a 7.02 average. Injury-wise, again, not any major injuries. He had a broken jaw back in 2021. So I think we would have seen that one last time. Knee tendonitis 3 years ago. So he's not had any he hasn't had a single injury since. It's been almost a year since he's been injured, actually, and that was just a tight hamstring. So he's not missed an awful lot of football. 2021. I think we would have seen him, or he wouldn't have left Linfield actually at the time. Would he? No, he would have still been at Linfield. Didn't do anything else, I don't think. So 2020. Went on trial at Celtic, joined Tottenham, but hasn't done anything since joining Tottenham. At Nims, was inducted into Northern Ireland's overall best 11 and seasonal best 11. Was named in the League 1 Team of the Week once, and named in Nims seasonal best 11. And then during his time at Sociedad, named in Northern Ireland's seasonal best 11, was in the Team of the Week in La Liga, and named in Real Sociedad's seasonal best 11. So, Mr. Phil, you are doing fantastically. Still can play at centre back. I doubt he's playing at centre back very often, but definitely doing bits as a striker, which is well done. Played 9 times for Spurs. Would you be happy with playing for Spurs, seeing as how you're a Liverpool fan? I suppose as long as it's not United or Everton. That's one thing I didn't consider, actually. What would everyone... I didn't give anyone favourite teams. So I wonder... Like, if I played for Bolton, I'd be disappointed because I'm a Wigan fan. But at the same time, given the chance, would you take a rival team? I'd say most people probably would. Right, so yeah, back now for the Oblique Kick Gaming part of the video, of the final player of the 6. And he has progressed nicely. 16 passing, 16 positioning, and 16 anticipation. Looks pretty decent for a DM. Aggression, bravery a little bit low. But other than that, physically he's quite a fantastic player, to be fair. Plays mostly as a DM or central midfielder, can play as an attack midfielder, and somewhat as a winger, but not that much. He has, attribute-wise, before we do that, hasn't played for Scotland yet, has made 18 under-21 appearances and scored twice. So he has been involved in Scotland. Be interesting to see if he gets called up now that he's playing with Derby. Again, I'm just having a quick look at the attributes to see if there are any major jumps. Anticipation went from 11 to 16. Composure's gone from 6 to 11. Determination's dropped by 1 from 15 to 14. Vision has gone from 9 to 14. So he's, getting better at seeing stuff. Agility's gone from 8 to 12. What else? Yeah. Values shot up from 1.6k to 205k. And he was on £30 a week, while at Cove is currently on 10.75 per week at Derby. So he has been playing in League 1, but still playing, which is the most important thing. If he makes 5 appearances for Scotland, his wage will increase to 23k. He has 2 years to do it. So would imagine at some point he's going to make his Scotland debut. Could be sold within the next 18 months. No, not 18. 16 months for 27 million if somebody wants to pay that. Which I don't see why they wouldn't. It is England, and players do tend to go for ridiculous money when they're homegrown, which he would be. So 27 million for a DM, it's not unheard of. Injury wise, not a single major injury in his entire career. This man is doing bits. Had a concussion, twisted ankle and flu. They're the only moderate injuries. Everything else is minor or slight. So like his longest injury is 3 weeks, which was the twisted ankle. It's not that bad, to be fair. Career stats, had 2 good seasons with Cove. Never actually a first team, like a nailed on first team regular. Apart from the final season with Cove, played 18 games. Wouldn't have been there for the full season because that season does run till till December. So he has played, he's probably played the majority of the games up to that point, 23-3. With 8 assists. Pretty good. Joined Derby and did nothing. Then the season after played a lot of reserve football. 28 games and scored 1 goal, 5 assists. So he seems to be an assist machine. Then went on loan to Shamrock Rovers in the Premier Division in Ireland. Managed 43 appearances, including substitutes. Played on the continent as well. Scored a goal, which was on the continent. Got 6 assists, 1 player of the match. So this is interesting. Starting players in Ireland and Northern Ireland seems to have been a better idea. So maybe I should have done that. Maybe I shouldn't have started with Brackley. Maybe I should have started with an Irish team, and then I would be a good footballer. Although, to be fair, I did intend on starting with Lombard Papatirmal in Hungary, and then I decided, because everyone else was in Ireland or Northern Ireland or England, I was like, I'm not going to be the outlier. I could have been the outlier. That would have been a really fun thing to do, to see what would happen if you have an Irish guy playing in Hungary. Damn it, missed an opportunity. Then he did play a season with Derby in League 1, 6 substitute appearances in the league, 9 substitute appearances in total. Didn't have a great time of it. 6.56. That's a little disappointing. But I suppose, having come off a season where he played pretty much every game for Shamrock Rovers, to come back to Derby and not play a whole lot of football, that would have been disappointing. 14 non-competitive games. It's pretty good in them. So that probably makes sense why he got put into the first team this year, where he played a total of 49 games, scored 2 goals, 7 assists, 2 player of the matches, on an average of 6.93. So it'd be interesting to see, does he make a move at some point? Because he seems to be playing relatively well. However, right, Derby didn't win promotion, finished 7th. It's just missed out on playoffs. My boys Wigan, promoted as champions, of course. Too good for League 1, not good enough for the Championship. Yeah. No, we won it. The fact that we've won it twice in recent history, disappointing. So that is all the players done. Actually, have any of them picked up new favourite personnel? Scott Gemmell, former manager for Oblique. Phil, have you any new friends? Michael O'Neill, I'm assuming he gave you your international debut. And Wangnu Eloy was Nim's manager. Okay. That's quite the name he has there. Clates, no. You're keeping the same friends you had previous. I suppose you've not played a whole lot of football. Mick McCarthy, because he gave IntoRowZ his international debut, is favourite personnel. Have I picked up anyone new? No, I haven't, because I'm also not playing football. You can tell who's playing football and who isn't. scootR, Kieran Gee, Weymouth manager. You enjoy his presence. I suppose gave you your competitive debut. 37 years old. And Carmine Isako, the Canadian manager. He's not terrible. He's a man who enjoys winning or losing, hates drawing. Man after my own heart. Win or lose, do not draw. Draws suck. So Seymour Clavage, this is how everyone looks. Currently, nobody, as far as I'm aware, unless I am high, nobody, IntoRowZ does have interest, but nobody's looking to be transferring permanently at the current moment. Phil is definitely the one to watch out for. I think he's probably going to be the one that goes on to be a worldie. I think, having looked at it, myself, scootR and Clayts may struggle to get too much further unless we make a big transfer in the next 3 seasons, because I'm going to jump ahead 3 seasons. I think I'm screwed. I'm never going to make it, because my managers have decided to train me in 100 million different positions. I can play everywhere. I play centre back, left wing back, right wing back, left midfield, left wing, right wing, and striker. Everyone else is 3 at most. Oblique can do 4, but he can do 2 really well, and 2 meh. Like Clayts can only do 2. Phil can only do 2. IntoRowZ can do 3 quite well. I can do 2 well, and then everything else is pretty crap. So, leave a comment down below. Who do you think, if anybody, is going to be better than Phil? Because like I said, I'm pretty sure Phil's going to be the best striker, the best player of all of us. He's going to have the best career. Unfortunately, I would like I'm not saying unfortunately that Phil is going to be the best player. Just unfortunate that not everyone has progressed at the same rate. It's very interesting to see how different the careers are. Like Oblique is playing in League 1, Phil is playing in La Liga. You know, I would have thought Oblique would have been up there as well, seeing as how he moved to Derby so quickly. But yeah, it just shows the difference between moving clubs sooner rather than it. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, leave a comment down below. Who do you think is going to be the big player? Who's going to make the biggest jump in the next 3 seasons? And if you wouldn't mind, jump into their YouTube or Twitch. Follow them all on Twitter. Everything is linked in the description below. Everyone's name has their relevant YouTube channel, Twitch channel, their Twitter handle. You know, pretty much all the socials that are important are all linked down below. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let these fantastic content creators know where you've come from. If you've found this and you've never heard of any of them, go into their Twitch chat when they're streaming or YouTube comments and let them know that you came from my channel. Tell them that you found them through Foggy Plays Experiment, where we send content creators off to be Wonderkids and see how they get on. I need to think of a better name for the channel or for the series. But that being said, thank you very much for watching, fellas, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!